And that is all for today. I am Irena, your newscaster, and I will see you after the break. Hello, and welcome back. We will be continuing our special episode with our topic of the day today, Ibn Sina. Now, who is he and why is he so important? We will look into all of these with these professionals. Dr. Aisha, would you like to kickstart this segment?
Thank you so much, Irena, for inviting me. Before we start to discuss further, I think we ought to know who Ibn Sina is. His full name is Abu Ali al-Hussein Ibn Abdullah Ibn Sina, and also known as Avicenna in the West. He was born in the village of Afsana near the city called Bukhara and is known as Uzbekistan now. And sadly, he died at the age of 57. He was the most influential Islamic philosopher and scientist. Not only he explored in medicine, philosophy, but also psychology. He talked about many things like emotion, perception. In fact, he was very interested in the nature of the soul. In his theory of perception, he believed that the perception is an active process that relates to our senses and mind. In other words, he believed that the mind plays an important role in shaping our perception of the world around us. Now we know who Ibn Sina is. Now let's ask Dr. Dina about his work.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha. I am particularly interested in Ibn Sina's works surrounding psychology as well. There are a few writings of his that touches about psychological principles, and one of them being Al-Qanun fi at-Tibb, or the Canon of Medicine. In this writing of his, he discussed about clinical psychology, where he wrote or he described about the nature of the mind, mental illnesses, and the impacts of psychological factors on health. Another work of Ibn Sina that also discusses about psychology is Kitab Ash-Shifa, or the Book of Healing. And in this work, he discussed about the soul in a philosophical lens, and some even remarked that this encyclopedia of his surpassed and expanded Aristotle's paradigm. And another work of Ibn Sina that touches about psychology is Al-Istinharat wal At-Tanbihat, or the Book of Directives and Remarks, where he discussed or he touches about positive psychology. He discussed about types of happiness, ways to attain happiness, and the role of the body and mind in achieving happiness. I think that is all I can share with you within this time. Passing on to Irena.
That was insightful, Dr. Nina. In my opinion, when seeing the application of his work now, psychology is definitely a vital focus in Ibn Sina's works. But now it has become something more technical, where I think it focuses more on experimentation. But psychology should actually also explore the aspect of humanization, such as the subjectivity of experiences. And Ibn Sina definitely explored that. Now let's pass this on to Dr. Wani.
Thank you, Irena. Now I would like to explore the contributions of Ibn Sina. Since we are talking about psychology, there are actually a lot of his contributions that have been made during his period. His most famous work is the Canon of Medicine, and it was a comprehensive medical encyclopedia. It includes the study of the mind, where he emphasized the interconnectedness of the body and the mind, also highlighting the impact of psychological factors on physical health. Other contributions that I want to focus on are mental health and emotional well-being. He acknowledged that mental health is very crucial, so he discussed the causes, symptoms, and also treatments for various mental disorders like anxiety. So what do you think about his contributions, Dr. Nayli?
Interesting question, Dr. Wani. So, from my perspective, it can be seen that Ibn Sina takes seriously about the mental health and well-being of the people, as had been mentioned before. And I would like to say that in this era, we can see that people are suffering from anxiety, depression, and many more mental disorders. So, I think the work of Ibn Sina can be used as references by our current psychologists for them to use his method to treat their patient, but obviously the method should be suitable for current situation. And I would like to conclude our discussion for today. We can see that based on what my colleague already said, it shows that Ibn Sina is one of the great Muslim scholars that have made contribution in the world of psychology or in the field of psychology. And I hope others in the future can learn more about Ibn Sina and make Ibn Sina as their role model by reading his work as references. It's not necessary for you to become like Ibn Sina, but try to learn something from his work. And I think that's all from me. I will pass back the floor to the Irena. Thank you so much.
Wow, today's segment is incredibly fruitful. The speakers were amazing. And in next week's segment, we will talk about a very influential psychology lecturer, Syed Muhajir. His expertise is on mobile technology usage and self-control, which we will look into further. Until then, let us continue with the news. Bye!